Hello, it's Davina. I have just returned from doing my drive-by pickup of groceries, which included a 24.8 pound fresh turkey because Thanksgiving's coming. Now, neither I nor my kitchen is prepared for this. So, let me put away my groceries, start cleaning up my kitchen, and then I'll talk to you about how to deal with a big bird. Alright, groceries are put away. I've mostly cleaned off the countertops. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm on this side of my kitchen instead of that side of my kitchen. This side of my kitchen has stainless steel countertop. That side of my kitchen has a combination of butcher's block and a pretty mosaic that was put in by the previous owners. Those are both porous surfaces, and I know it's butcher's block, which makes people think, well, I'll just chop meat on it. Okay, if we were in a butcher shop, you could do that, but then in between every single cut, you're disinfecting it with bleach. I don't know how many years that butcher block has been in existence, but I'll give you some close-ups. There are some major gouges in that where somebody did not treat that butcher block particularly well. So even though when I moved in, scraped it, sanded it, put butcher block oil on it, and have treated it well since I've had it, I don't like cutting directly on it because I don't want to get bacteria into those cracks. So that's why we're on this side. Now everybody has an all-in-one stainless steel countertop sink in their kitchen. I understand that, but you should look for the least porous surface in your kitchen. It might be some sort of laminate countertop or stone or steel, or maybe your whole kitchen is done up in tile and you don't really have a place that doesn't have grout in it. Well, usually if you have it modernly installed, tile will have an epoxy grout instead of the usual porous grout. But if you don't know for sure, you might be stuck with laying out cutting boards that will get raw meat on them that you will then have to wash very stringently before doing anything else on them. So it is what it is. You might have to lay out some plastic tarping, kind of, American Psycho style. This holiday is all about blood and guts, apparently. So, though I've wiped this down, I really need to sanitize this entire area, because once I unwrap that turkey from its plastic wrapping, it is going to be susceptible to getting any bacteria that happens to be hanging out in my kitchen. So, I'm removing my jewelry, I'm going to disinfect, and then I'm going to get to my turkey. This is my beautiful turkey. And this is my grandmother's roasting pan. Before I get this all naked, I want to see if it actually fits into my grandmother's roasting pan. I think it will, but it's going to be close. Just fits with the spacer that belongs on the bottom. So I'm good. But honestly, you can get aluminum roasting pans, buy 2 of them so that you've got a top and a bottom to crimp together in your oven, and you can do this without a vintage roasting pan. Most modern roasting pans are not as big and burly as this is. So that is totally gonna work, but I'm setting it to the side. Now, talking turkey. This is fresh turkey. Hasn't been frozen. It's nice and squishy, which is good because it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So this guy can actually get cooked up. If, however, I had a frozen turkey, there's some mathematics involved in defrosting your turkey. The USDA rules for defrosting a whole bird, whether it's a chicken, a duck, a goose, or a turkey, is 1 day for every 4 to 5 pounds. So if we go with 5, if you have a 12-pound turkey, that's 5, 10, 15. Okay, so you need about 3 days to defrost it. Let's say you've got a 16-pound turkey. That's 5, 10, 15, and a 4th day to defrost it. And they want you to do it in the refrigerator. Why the refrigerator? It's slower. Yeah, but it's safe because it's keeping it a constant temperature outside of the danger zone. Okay. If you have not taken a food handler's class in a while, the current curriculum involves a dancing bleach bottle, a hopping thermometer, and the phrase "the danger zone" repeatedly used. The danger zone is the temperatures that bacteria like to procreate in. So, let's say I had gotten this 24-pound monstrosity totally frozen. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I would have needed 5 days in the refrigerator to defrost this. Now, there's a few things that you can do to make the process easier if you are a brining person. The salt water will help defrost a frozen turkey. If you've ever had to spread salt out on a sidewalk, salt melts ice. Additionally, water and evens out temperature much better than air does. However, don't put warm water into your refrigerator with a big turkey in it, because you're just going to warm up the whole temperature of your refrigerator, which could lead to spoilage. You want to have just room temperature water and your turkey. You throw it into your refrigerator, change out the water or change out the brine, whatever's recommended for your brining recipe, or just once a day if you are just using straight up water. And just let it sit for the amount of time necessary. Are there speed ways of doing it? I'm sure someone has those. I do not recommend, because usually those speed ways have weird temperature differentials. They've got long periods of time where parts of the turkey are at room temperature, where stuff can grow. Now, this guy has been vacuum sealed and refrigerated until I received it, got it home, stuck it in the refrigerator until I had my kitchen cleaned up. So it's just kind of sitting here slowly coming up into the danger zone. So I need to work a little bit faster than I am. Let's get him out of his cage. I was wrapping it into my grandmother's dish. All right, at this point, the turkey looks like something that came out of a horror movie like The Thing or something like that. It's like an alien egg opening up and you're just ready for that face hugger to jump out. Now we're gonna want some of the stuff that's in here and some of the other stuff we don't want. I like using a nice big Ziploc bag before I throw it in the garbage, just to keep the smelliness down. Some places garbage doesn't come around during the holidays. So yeah, that's what I do. Also, I like to have a pair of kitchen shears that comes apart so they're easier to clean in the dishwasher. All right, so we've got a neck, some fat flap of skin. I'm just gonna cut it. Got a thing. I've got ice. Okay, and that's actual meat down in there. I think I'm not gonna find any more stuff. Just more ice crystals and bits of fat and skin and connective tissue. Okay, so I've got that cavity pretty nicely emptied out. Oh, this must have been a tom turkey because there was a beard right there. This bloody plastic tossed into the Ziploc for garbage. I'm gonna get my hands underneath the skin of this turkey. Now, turkey doesn't have as much of a fat layer between its skin and its meat as a chicken does. So this is harder to do than if I was doing it with a chicken. Oh, the texture. I cannot describe to you the texture of what's going on right now, but believe me, you want a refrigerated turkey instead of a frozen turkey for this, because it's special. Now, why am I doing this? Well, you see, I like to get my herbs and spices right up against the meat. And if I just put it on the skin, it doesn't actually get in there very much. So by opening this up through careful use of force and massage, I can add my spices and herbs underneath the skin of the turkey. Now, I could be doing this on a cutting board on the countertop instead of in the sink that I have scrubbed and disinfected. However, I find that it would scoot around and try to get away from me. Hence why I like to have it caged in the sink, which is why it was very important to sanitize the sink. And I need to carefully cut some connective tissue right there along the back. There we go. This is not pretty. You should be terrified by this. If you don't like me, this was not the episode of mine for you. Now, this is not water on my hands. This is turkey fat. As my skin has gotten in contact with this bird, it has warmed up some of that subdermal under the skin fat of the turkey and turned it to liquid. So I'm warming up my turkey as I'm doing this. Now you can tell why really this is not a jewelry on task. If you've made a promise to your spouse to always wear the ring, they better be making the turkey without their ring on, because this is not a jewelry task. Okay, I'm gonna get done the back. Now it's for the breast. There's actually a membrane separating the leg muscle from the breast muscle, and you can break that inside so that the skin is just more of a a sack instead of it being two separate zones of the meat. Ooh, tore the skin. Oh, this is so cold and gooey and slippery and alien-like. It's really alien-like. It's like an alien. Seriously, I think for some horror movies, they must have just like really, the special effects guys must have really gotten into their Thanksgiving dinners, because, I mean, yeah. Okay, let's make sure it's all loose around the neck, like a very weird turtleneck skin sweater. If this ends up being like a horror show YouTube, I'm okay with that. You know. Oh, hey, there it is. This is what I was looking for. This is what's going to have the heart and liver and stuff like that in it. I know if I massage this bird enough, I'd find it eventually. All right. Almost there. Okay. Now the skin is completely hanging on by just the little ankle bones and the little wings at this point. And it's just sort of a, like I said, a very weird skin turtleneck on my turkey. So, I'm gonna set this slimy little critter into my grandma's roasting pan, and then I'm gonna slide it into the refrigerator, which means I wash my hands, bring over the roasting dish, open it up, put the raw turkey in, rewash my hands, and then put the roasting pan into the refrigerator so this can cool down again, because my body temperature has raised the temperature of the meat and I need to bring it back down out of the danger zone. Washing hands. Okay, so in the bottom of my sink, you can see there's some stuff. That's turkey fat, and that's why I like to do this on the garbage disposal side. Now, you're not supposed to put a lot of grease or fat down in your garbage disposal, but the little bit that has come off by rolling my turkey around in my sink, it's probably not going to destroy a septic tank or make one of those fat icebergs in a sewer system. However, I now need to totally disinfect this whole area again before I move on. So, more washing. All right, sanitation has been redone. I have re-pulled my turkey from the refrigerator. I've got the stuff that I'm gonna stuff into the cavity, as well as some freshly made herb butter that I'm gonna rub in between the skin and the flesh, and also some salt to go around on the outside. So, in order to get that butter rub all over, I need to pull it back out of my roasting pan and do all that. Now, I have sanitized this, including the drain stopper there, just making sure it's all as clean as possible. All right, back in. First, the back side. Now, the back side already has quite a bit of fat already, so I don't actually need to put very much butter in there, but I'm going to sprinkle in some spices. So I need to rinse off my hands so I can get to my spices and have one clean hand and one meaty hand. By the way, I'm washing all the way up to my elbows because this is an elbows deep project. Okay, so I've got to have one spice hand, one meat hand, and never switch the two. which one's going to be easier to massage and which one's going to be easier to shake. You know what? I'm going to massage with my right because I'm right-handed. I'm going to shake with my left because if I suck at shaking, it's not as bad. Okay, open it up. Shake, spices inside. Pinch of salt. Now I'm gonna grab the butter, put it into the meat hand, and smush it underneath the skin, all over that breast meat. All right, time to get him back into the roasting dish. Now, the thickest meat is here on the breastbone. Some people cook their turkeys upside down first and then they flip them. But there's really not going to be any flipping in this roasting dish. So I'm just going to start the stuffing. I've got a bouquet garni of sage, rosemary, thyme, and some celery. That's getting shoved in there. I've got an apple peel left over from my cranberry relish. I've got a couple chunks of carrot that are getting jammed up in there. I've got some homegrown onions, as well as a few cranberries that just managed to escape my cranberry relish. So, putting that all up inside, making sure that that skin is covering up the meat so that the meat doesn't dry out, so that that butter is right there on the skin. Okay, and now with my clean spice hand, I'm going to just salt the outside of the skin. All right, so lid's going to go back on this. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to put the lid back onto this, going to stick it back in my refrigerator, and then I'm going to start heating up my oven and getting ready for, I think I'm going to do, it's going to be about an 18-hour roast on this. There's a lot of recipes out there for how to slow roast, and if you've got the time, roast your turkey the day before so there's plenty of time for it to rest so that it's easier to cut when it comes to cutting time. Okay, so finishing up this turkey, doing it overnight. Instead of doing a high temperature for a short period of time, we're going to do a low temperature for a long period of time. How low? Well, depends on how low you can go. Mine does have a warm setting, but I'm going to set mine to 200 because that's the first number that I have on there. Now, we're giving this enough time for that meat to fully heat up to the cooked point. What is the cooked point for turkey? Well, for breast meat, I believe I've read that it's 160 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and for the leg meat, it's 170 to 175. So, setting this to 200 and putting it in there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon the day before means that by the time we are ready to eat a Thanksgiving lunch, this turkey should be fully done, cooled, and sliced up. But, of course, tomorrow morning, I'm going to check the temperature to make sure everything's okay. If you have a flaky oven, you're going to want to have your own separate thermometer that you have hanging out in there to make sure that you've got it over that finished temperature that you need that meat to be. So If your oven isn't getting up to 200 degrees when you set it to 200, crank it up a little bit higher and look to see what temperature your oven is getting to, because you need to have it that temperature. This is similar to the technique called sous vide, which is cool and French and involves a water bath that gets the food to the exact same temperature as the water that it's in, so that it's cooked thoroughly throughout to the perfect temperature and never being overdone. We're doing this with heat and an oven and air, but a little bit of water, because I don't want it to dry out. So I'm just pouring in 1 cup of water. Now I could have used broth, I could have used beer, I could have used wine, probably a white wine wouldn't discolor the turkey as much, but it's going to be the back meat that's going to be in that liquid. So if you do use something that's colored, it's just going to discolor the back meat, which isn't as big of a deal. So the lid's going on, fitting it down nice and snug, and putting it in my oven with only the bottom rack in. All right. Bake 200 degrees and just let it ride for about 9 to 12 hours. Yeah, we're thinking ahead. And now, at the end, I need to sanitize my whole countertop one more time and change out of all the clothes that maybe have gotten turkey juices on them. Now, I could have worn a cooking apron. I often do wear a cooking apron. However, cooking aprons only cover this much, and I'm pretty sure I might have gotten some splat up on my shoulders and such. So I'm just gonna change all my clothes and do the laundry. All right, Thanksgiving morning is here. Let's check in on our turkey. It's been 18 hours at 200 degrees. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now, where did all this liquid come? I mean, I only added in 1 cup of water. Well, meat has a lot of water in it, and also there was the butter that I added, but there was also a lot of subdermal fat. So all that extra liquid that's just hanging out in there is going to be turned into stock and later gravy. And I'm just going to go into the thickest part of the breast right here. It needs to make it to 160. Yes, it is past 160 and is at about 180, so definitely cooked all the way. I'm gonna shove into the thigh, which is underwater right now. Okay, and that definitely got over because it's going over 180, so my turkey definitely fully cooked, and I don't even think I have to do the final little bit of browning on top, because this is pretty golden brown on top as it is. So I'm gonna now turn off my oven, and I now need to extract the turkey so that I can get to the liquid, or extract the liquid so I can get to the turkey. One of those two things is about to happen.
I'm gonna stop this video right there because I'm getting close to the 30-minute mark, and because you know what, different people want to serve their turkey different ways. I might in another video how I finished up my turkey for Thanksgiving, but you can have turkey any time of year. They're almost always on sale here in the United States, and some people actually have turkey not just for Thanksgiving but also for Christmas, for Easter, for the 4th of July. It's the all-American bird, and in fact I believe it was Benjamin Franklin who wanted the turkey to be our national bird instead of the bald eagle, because a lot of countries have eagles and only the Americas have the turkey. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps you have a safe and delicious turkey dinner. Have a good day. Bye-bye.